On behalf of the High Commission of Pakistan and Singapore, I welcome all our worthy audience at the virtual celebration of the 82nd National Day of Pakistan. We celebrate 23rd March every year as our national day, reinforcing our commitment to the ideals envisaged by our forefathers for our beloved homeland. Since hosting you in person was not possible due to the pandemic, we have tried to make use of the digital space available to us and have choreographed a colorful potpourri of Pakistani art, music, culture, and scenic beauty. We hope you will enjoy being with us today. We formally begin the event with recitation from Holy Quran by Hashar Ali Gardezi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العظيم.
Now, the national anthems of the two countries will be played. I would now invite High Commissioner of Pakistan to Singapore, Her Excellency Ms. Ruxana Afzal, to share her thoughts on this auspicious day.
Your Excellency, Ms. Sun Sheling, Minister of State for Education, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in celebrating Pakistan's 82nd National Day. It is a great honor for us to welcome you online. While this is the second year in a row that we are having a virtual ceremony to mark this auspicious occasion due to the pandemic, we hope to welcome you in person on our next National Day. 2021 saw a deliberate effort by Pakistan towards a more comprehensive paradigm of national security with focus on human security. This goal will be achieved through leveraging Pakistan's geographic location at the confluence of South, Central, and West Asia with rich energy, mineral, and human resource, and GDP worth trillions of dollars, as well as Pakistan's economic strengths as a large consumer market, having one of the fastest expanding middle class, a large population of young people, and immense tourism potential. Singapore is an important country of Southeast Asia with whom we have close friendly relations. We covered a lot of ground in the past year in our journey of building a meaningful partnership with Singapore. The most important milestone of this journey was the brief interaction between Prime Minister Imran Khan and President Madam Halima Yaqub on the sidelines of Winter Olympics in Beijing in February 2022. Another highlight was the second round of bilateral political consultations between the two foreign ministries in January 2022, focused on building bilateral ties across a wide spectrum. It was also agreed that Foreign Minister Makhdoom Shah Mahmood Qureshi will visit Singapore this year. We are keen to build institutional linkages with Singapore to learn from its exemplary success. Consultations are ongoing between the Institute of South Asian Studies and the Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad, Civil Service College and National School of Public Policy Pakistan, Institute of Technical Education and National Vocational and Technical Training Commission of Pakistan. I would like to acknowledge the overwhelming support extended by the Institute of South Asian Studies to the High Commission in organizing 4 webinars on Pakistan's fresh and packaged food exports, digital transformation, regional connectivity, and capital market development. On economic front, we stepped up our efforts to position Pakistan as a major food source for Singapore, and last year saw Pakistani mangoes retailing in Singapore on a large scale. We are in discussion with Singapore Food Agency for import of Pakistani meat, poultry, and their products. There are several sectors of Pakistan's economy offering immense return on foreign investment, IT and telecom being the most important. With 114 million people below the age of 25 who are urban and early adopters of technology, a technical talent base of 360,000 software developers, and commercial launching of 3G and 4G LTE services by Pakistan Telecom Authority, Pakistan is the next destination for Singaporean FDI. Interestingly, an amount of US $360 million was invested in Pakistan's fintech sector last year, and Singapore was among the top investors. According to McKinsey and Company, by 2025, fintech would help create 4 million jobs in Pakistan and 93 million bank accounts, which could add up to $7 billion to the GDP. The overall tech sector of the country would reach $20 billion mark. Similarly, the telecom sector has alone drawn about $4.5 billion FDI in the past 5 years. Pakistan also witnessed a tremendous increase in its software exports in 2021, indicating this booming industry's potential. Similarly, CPEC-related special economic zones and special technology zones offer incentives on investments which are worth exploring. As for traveling to Pakistan, we have added Singapore to a list of 91 countries with e-visa facility. We issue visas within 24 hours, plus there is no requirement of quarantine or pre-departure PCR test for fully vaccinated travelers from Singapore. The High Commission is also trying to re-establish direct air linkages between Pakistan and Singapore. Let's join hands to build a solid and mutually beneficial partnership between Pakistan and Singapore. Long live Pakistan-Singapore friendship. Thank you.
We would now listen to the remarks of our esteemed guest of honor, Her Excellency Ms. Soon Shu Ling, Singapore's Minister of State for Education and concurrently Minister of State for Social and Family Development.
Your Excellency, Rukhsana Afzal, High Commissioner of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good day to all. I'm honored to join you today in celebration of Pakistan's 82nd National Day. This is the second time that the National Day celebrations have been organized virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe many will share my sentiments that the pandemic has stretched on for longer than anticipated. Nevertheless, we are learning to live with COVID-19 and are making steady progress towards the new normal as we seek to minimize the impact of the virus on our lives and livelihoods. To do so effectively will require the collective effort of the international community. I'm pleased to note that Pakistan was recently elected as the chair of the Group of 77, or G77, at the United Nations for 2022. Singapore continues to work closely with our partners in the G77 on many issues of common interest. We look forward to benefiting from Pakistan's able leadership in tackling important issues such as vaccine access and inclusive recovery, climate change, and sustainable development. Despite COVID-19, our countries have been able to maintain a strong momentum of bilateral exchanges. Last month, President Halimah Yacob had a good conversation with Prime Minister Imran Khan on the sidelines of the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Beijing. In January this year, our foreign ministries also had fruitful discussions over a wide range of issues and exchanged views on areas of cooperation at the second round of bilateral consultations. As Minister of State for Education, I was heartened to note that a pilot training workshop for technical and vocational education and training, or TVET, leaders will commence in the first half of 2022. The workshop comes under the MOU on collaboration in TVET, signed between Pakistan's National Vocational and Technical Training Commission and Singapore's ITE Education Services in December 2020. There are also talks between Singapore's Civil Service College and the Pakistan National School of Public Policy to collaborate in civil service training, with an MOU to be signed in due course. Discussions are also underway for a partnership between the NUS Institute of South Asian Studies and the Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, in joint events and research. Singapore is a firm believer in human resource development as a key to economic and social progress. These interactions are important opportunities for us to share our experiences and expertise with each other, which will allow us to better meet the needs of our current and future workforce. Beyond capacity building and education, there are also opportunities to boost our economic cooperation. For example, fintech has been a bright spot in our collaboration with Pakistan. An MOU was signed between the Singapore Fintech Association and the Pakistan Fintech Association in February 2021 to promote industry exchanges. Pakistan's fintech ecosystem has good potential, given the large market size and improved regulatory landscape. We look forward to more opportunities to collaborate in fintech, such as through this year's iteration of the Singapore Fintech Festival. Another example is in facilitating trade between our two countries. The Singapore Business Federation has been working with the Pakistan High Commission to increase food trade, including in products such as fruits, rice, and snacks. This ongoing cooperation has been achieved through webinars and business matching sessions. We welcome greater efforts by the High Commission to share more about the commercial opportunities in Pakistan with the Singapore business community. This will familiarize them to the possibilities of tapping on Pakistan to access the wider South and Central Asian market. With Pakistan's shift in its foreign policy outlook from geopolitics to geoeconomics, our businesses will be keen to know how this has translated into practical terms to support potential investors through incentives and investment guarantees. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is much that Singapore and Pakistan can achieve together by working closely on deepening political, economic, cultural, and people-to-people ties. On that note, let me extend my warmest congratulations to Pakistan and its people on the warm occasion of Pakistan's 82nd National Day. Thank you.
Madam, we are deeply indebted to you for gracing this ceremony with your kind presence. We now move on to the next segment, which is documentary on the beautiful Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, the land of the valiant Pakhtuns, one of the 4 administrative provinces of Pakistan in the northwest. The documentary brings forth the harmonious blend of nature, hospitality, and culture of Pakistan.
The northwestern province of Pakistan is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Popular for its lush green landscapes, highest peaks, indigenous cultures, tasty food, and the Afghan border connecting the Central and South Asia. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is Pakistan's 3rd largest region by population. It is the country's tourism treasure chest and is fast becoming a destination of choice for domestic and foreign tourists. The province is well endowed with natural resources and shaped by the Hindu Kush and Himalaya mountains that offer stunning alpine landscapes, iconic wildlife, lush forests, numerous glaciers, and breathtaking lakes. With rich traditions, variety of languages, and the oldest civilizations of the world, this is the land of fresh fruits, rich minerals, natural habitat for wildlife, and much more to explore. This is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Here you will find the history, remains of ancient civilizations spread all over mountains, and timeless relics archived in museums across the province. It boasts sites of historical and religious significance that cover over 2,000 years of history, with Buddhist, Muslim, and Christian evidence of global importance, including 6,000 sites of Gandhara heritage, some of which have been excavated and restored by the KP Directorate of Archaeology and Museums, and are now accessible to tourists. Civilizations excelled here, paving the way for unique architecture and glorious art. Empires were built and ruined, but life went on as dignified as it could be. There are more than 20 archaeological sites as listed by UNESCO that will take you to the oldest way of living on this part of the world. Religions flourished here, and people enjoyed the freedom of worshiping and found spirituality all the way from their hearts and mind. The province used to welcome 50,000 international visitors per year before an almost decade-long conflict that finally ended in 2017. However, beginning in 2015, the numbers of domestic arrivals have led to a mushrooming of tourism ventures and activities that, if managed sustainably, can drive economic growth across many rural sections of the province. While visiting KP, one cannot resist to taste delicious traditional cuisines. From north to south, the province offers a variety for tasty and mouth-watering traditional food, like kebab, tikka, and mutton karahi are some of the famous dishes. While some traditional sweets like mardan amrasa, diai khan khawa are also famous. The wildlife enthusiasts find their parks here, where you are welcomed for tours, hiking expeditions, and hunting. Hundreds of species of birds and animals found across the province have become an attraction for local and foreign tourists. The province is also a sanctuary for some of the world's unique animals and birds, that are not commonly found in other parts of the globe. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is blessed with mesmerizing waterfalls and lakes, attracting hundreds and thousands of tourists every year. Being a vast region, the climate varies, encompassing many climate types found in Pakistan. The northern region is cold and snowy in winters with heavy rainfall, and pleasant in summers, whereas the plain areas are hot in summer, but pleasant in winter. The low numbers of international arrivals have been compensated by domestic tourism, which has been growing over the years. The total number of domestic tourisms in Pakistan during 2016 was 80 million, up from 46 million in 2009. Findings of a survey completed in 2018 show that 4.45 million tourists visit Galiat, Naran, Kalam, and Kumrat in 2018. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is gifted with a natural ecology and land, fit to grow some fine quality fruits and vegetables. The province has a vast mountainous area, naturally conducive for growing precious quality of dry fruits like walnuts, pine nuts, and almonds. KP also produces sweet and delicious oranges, peaches, apples. Likewise, in plain areas, guava, citrus, strawberry, plums, apricot, and dates are abundantly produced. Hidden north of KP are the Kalasha Valleys in Chitral district, surrounded by the Hindu Kush mountain range. The inhabitants of the valley are the Kalash people, who have a unique culture, language, and follow a form of ancient Hinduism. As such, the Kalasha Valleys are a source of attraction for Pakistani as well as international tourists. The people of Kalash celebrate 3 festivals every year in spring, summer, and winter. Chilam Joshi Festival is one of the most vital Kalash festivals, also known as Kalash Spring Festival. The Kalash people celebrate this 4-day festival across all 3 Kalash valleys, and a large number of domestic and foreign tourists attend the Chilam Joshi Festival every year. Apart from astonishing traditional sports, the king of games, polo, is played at one of the highest grounds of the world, Chandur, at an altitude of 12,500 feet. Every year, Chandur invites visitors to experience a traditional polo tournament between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit from the 7th to the 9th of July. The festival also includes folk music, folk dance, traditional sports, and a camping village is set up on the pass. This freestyle game between Chitral and Gilgit teams is witnessed by spectators coming from different parts of the world. Polo is an equestrian sport, with its origin embedded in Central Asia dating back to the 6th century BC. Another 2,000-year-old festival in Chitral is the Jashn-e-Ka Klasht, celebrated every year. The 4-day festival features traditional sports and cultural events of the surrounding local communities, organized at the flat green terrain near Boni in Upper Chitral. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is likely to remain a preferred domestic destination, with its unrivaled natural and cultural attractions, and the population's newfound love of travel, spurred by a combination of the improved security situation and the promotional efforts of KP Department of Tourism, Sports, Culture, and Youth Affairs. The Tourism Corporation KP, through their tourism promotional activities, has helped in reviving the spirit of tourism after a decade-long suffering in the province. The Tourism Corporation Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has set up camping pods at scenic spots in Swat, Kahan, Tandiani, and Shengla. The camping pods are unique, insulated wooden huts that enables the tourist to take in the marvelous sights in the wild from a comfortable, spacious, and safe accommodation with all the basic necessities that a person requires. The Sustainable Development Strategy of the province aims to provide a strategic direction to the development of KP's governance, social and economic sectors, economic revitalization, job creation, and tourism development are at the center of KP's development roadmap. The direct contribution of tourism and travel to Pakistan's GDP was $8.8 billion, which was 2.9% of GDP in 2017. During the same year, tourism and travel supported 3,894,000 direct and indirect jobs, 6.5% of the country's total employment. In 2017, tourism and travel investments in Pakistan made up 9.1% of total investments, a share that is projected to rise by 5.2% during 2018-19 in response to growing domestic tourism. Even in this era of industrialization, the traditional handicrafts produced in the province are still famous and liked by domestic and even foreign tourists while traveling here. Whether it's about footwear, clothes, decorative or consumable items, you will find them handcrafted by artisans who inherited their skills of ancient artistry from their ancestors. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is expected to become one of the top tourist destinations in the world in the coming years. Only in 2018-19, thousands of national and international tourists visited and enjoyed the scenic beauty and cultural heritage of the province, and more are expected to visit in coming years. It is said that the world is a book, and those who don't travel only read one page. So turn the pages, explore nature at its best.
Jimmy Engineer is a renowned Pakistani artist who is also a philanthropist, social worker, and stamp designer. His collection of over 2,000 paintings, 1,000 calligraphies, and about 20,000 prints has been exhibited in more than 60 countries around the world, including Singapore. Today, we are presenting you some of his splendid work.
इन सर्च ऑफ माई मास्टर उस किताब का नाम है जिसमें जिमी इंजीनियर की फनी जिंदगी और उनकी बनाई हुई तस्वीरों को कलमबंद कर दिया गया है। तकरीबन 4 दहाइयों से जारी उनकी मुसव्वरी और उसके साथ साथ उनकी फलाही और रिफाही खिदमात जिमी इंजीनियर को न सिर्फ पाकिस्तान बल्कि दूसरे ममालिक के मुसव्वरों में भी नुमाया करती है। किताब में उनके बनाए हुए 2000 के करीब आर्ट के नमूने और तकरीबन 1000 कैलीग्राफिक नमूने तस्वीर की शक्ल में शामिल हैं। पार्टीशन के नाम से तकसीम हिंद पे बनाई गई उनकी तस्वीरें और अल्लामा इकबाल के जावेद नामा को तखय्युलाती दुनिया से रंगों के जरिए कैनवस पे मुक़य्यद करना उनकी मुसव्वरी के नुमाया कारनामों में से 2 मिसालें हैं। किताब की तकरीब रुनुमाई के मौके पर अपनी सवाना के नाम के बारे में जिमी ने बताया कि
अल मुसव्वर, अल्लाह का नाम है अल मुसव्वर, तो मैं उनका शागिर्द हूँ, इसीलिए मैं हमेशा शागिर्द रहूँगा, मैं कभी उस्ताद नहीं बनूँगा, क्योंकि मैंने हमेशा कोशिश की है कि मैं परफेक्शन की तरफ जाऊँ, लेकिन मेरे जो मास्टर है ना वो परफेक्ट है और हम इम्परफेक्ट है, और मैं तालिब इल्म हूँ, मैं अभी भी सीख रहा हूँ, लेकिन मैंने सारी उम्र पाकिस्तान को प्रमोट किया है। मैं समझता हूँ कि मैं पाकिस्तान का नौकर हूँ।
60 से ज़ायद दुनिया भर में किए गए आर्ट एग्जीबिशंस, इंसानी हुकूक और फलाह व बहबूद के लिए 50 से ज़ायद वॉक्स, यकीनन जिमी इंजीनियर का फ़नी और समाजी कारकुन की हैसियत से सफ़र अभी तक जारी है और मुस्तक़बिल में उनको हासिल होने वाली कामयाबियों के नतीजे में मज़ीद किताबें भी लिखी जाएंगी।
Happy 23rd March.
Today we have with us Mr. Amardeep Singh and his wife, Ms. Vininder Kaur, who spent 3 years on producing a marvelous 24-episode docu-series on the life of Baba Guru Nanak. As Baba Guru Nanak was born in Pakistan and spent most of his life in areas that comprise today's Pakistan, a large part of his docu-series focuses on Pakistan's Sikh heritage. Mr. Amardeep Singh also authored 2 landmark books on the Sikh legacy in Pakistan. We are honored to have the couple with us today. As part of the series of clips in the virtual ceremony to mark the National Day of Pakistan, the High Commission shares with you an interview with a husband and wife team, Mr. Amardeep Singh and Ms. Vininder Kaur, authors and filmmakers whose thorough professionalism pays homage to Baba Guru Nanak. Welcome, Amardeep and Vininder Kaur ji.
Thank you, Farhana, for giving us this opportunity. And to start, I would like to express a heartfelt thanks to the Pakistan High Commission in Singapore, to the entire team, and to the entire Pakistani community based in Singapore for the celebration of the Pakistan Day today. Thank you very much.
I would like to extend my thanks and congratulations to the Pakistan High Commission.
We would like you to share with us, how did you conceive the idea of filming the travels of Baba Guru Nanak? Amardeep ji, if you would like to respond to this question.
Right. Thank you for asking that very important question to start this this introduction to this entire work. As you've already introduced, so I was earlier till about 2014 in the corporate world. I was leading the American Express region for revenue management for American Express out of Singapore for Asia Pacific region. In 2014, I kind of left because of certain personal reasons. I'd served there for 25 years. And this project, Guru Nanak's documentary series, started in January 2019. It has taken us about 3.5 years to complete it. But the journey to this series came through multiple paths. And while I was in the corporate world, I was delving a lot into the Indus region. My parents were from the region that is now Pakistan. I call us as the people of the Indus region. My father was from Muzaffarabad. My mother was from Ahmedabad. Partition led them to move to Gorakhpur in UP. That's where I was born. But I somehow, from my very young days, was living in the lands of the Indus. My quest for multi-faith studies, personal history, and many other aspects, anthropological, social, tend to be in the region of the Indus. Now, this layer kind of over a period of time just was adding up subconsciously, because corporate world was not giving me any time to do something creative in terms of delivering as a product. It's when I left American Express, that's the first time in 2014, I asked myself, my parents are no more. I would like to go to Pakistan to feel the culture, the history, and the remnants of the legacy that my community had churned in these lands. And clearly, in my mind, this was not limited to just the 2 or 3 gurdwaras that we tend to actually go to Pakistan to pay our obeisance. My question was, there was such a large legacy, and how do we revive footprints of that from a cultural tourism, cultural heritage perspective? And that's what led me and got to these doing of these 2 books. In 2018, when I finished, and these books actually made us take the entire legacy footprint in many forums across the world. In 2018 end, I asked myself this question. Somehow I got the confidence that narrative storytelling was my forte. And if I was to attempt something in my life, and then we as a team, me and my wife, should we actually embark on this project which has never been done, which is Guru Nanak's life events. And Guru Nanak's life events tend to be very boxed today into the Sikh faith. But really, if you step back, he didn't start any religion. I mean, unlike that happens with any person who's out of the box thinker, and which he was on his own quest, which took him to travel outside of Pakistan region where he was born in Nankana Sahib. He breathed his last in Kartarpur, and he traveled for 22 years across regions which today are 9 countries. And the countries are Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Tibet, which is in China, India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. So my question was, can his legacy be put forward in the form of a compelling series which tells us his story not from the way we are projecting him today into the Sikh faith, but the story as he would have traveled through various multi-faith sites to experience the various aspects of the multi-faith sites, the people there, because his travels was to interact, like he says, Jablak Duniya Rahiye Nanak, Kich Suniye Kuch Kahiye. Till we are there in this world, seek and impart. And that's what took him across. And that's what led us to do this. And 3.5 years later, it was not been an easy journey, but it has been a most fulfilling journey for us and for our entire team, and we've delivered it. Thank you so much.
It's indeed a commendable job reviving such a rich cultural heritage. How was your experience of filming in Pakistan? This question is for you, Amardeep ji and Ms. Kaur, since you were with him in this journey.
Yeah, so this is also an interesting question, because while Guru Nanak's journey in the docu-series takes us across in a sequential manner in 24 episodes. By the way, the docu-series is freely available to the world. You just need to go to the website called thegurunanak.com. So I would say that the biggest thanks I would like to give in this experience in Pakistan was the embrace by the Pakistan government and the people of Pakistan, right? Because without that, this could not have happened. It's the confidence that we got when we went into Pakistan in January 2019, and we were able to navigate through the entire narrative that we became more confident now to say, let's go to Afghanistan, let's go to the next country, next country. If Pakistan would not have been the catalyst to enable this narrative would not have been done, right? So thanks to the people of Pakistan, the government of Pakistan, which embraced us, which allowed us to get into such remote areas, whether it be Balochistan or Baltistan, it wouldn't have been possible without the government support. And I let probably Nikki add to this. What was your feeling about in our dealings with Pakistan?
I would like to add what Amardeep said, warmth of people. It was so heartwarming when we traveled through Pakistan. We made brothers, sisters, sons, and aunts and uncles. And I would like to start from thanking the government for supporting us, and people at the grassroots level who supported at every point of our filming.
Every person who has been connected to us in this journey, starting from Pakistan, and the question is very Pakistan-centric, I want to actually reiterate again, is a divine blessing given to us in the making of this divine docu-series about Guru Nanak, about oneness.
So, Vininder, if I may ask you, of all the places that you had the opportunity to visit, which one stand out for you? Which one do you remember as the most remarkable in this entire experience?
It's very difficult to pinpoint one place. I felt every place where we went, it is amazing. It is just out of the world, the geographies, the people, the culture, the warmth. So it's very difficult to just pinpoint and one specific place. But yeah, one incident that's very close to my heart is in Sindh, which is in Bhitsha. We were traveling to Sindh. Sindh is very vibrant, very diverse. Many people of different cultures come together. So it's full of color there. And we were at Bhitsha, and we were at the Darbar, and this gentleman comes and he gets 2 ajraks, and he taps Amardeep's shoulder and he says, I would like to gift you this. And his sister was standing next to him, and she was wearing a lovely dupatta, which I'm wearing. This is that dupatta. And I just told her, I said, you're wearing such a lovely dupatta. And she very proudly said, I've done the embroidery myself. I said, amazing. And it so happens after about 15-20 minutes, that same gentleman comes and he gifts me the dupatta. He says, you are my sister now. But this will remain with me. This is this most precious gift and experience. So yeah, I would say Sindh for that matter, but it's very difficult to pinpoint one place.
Amardeepji, I would like to ask you lastly, once your work was out, how was the response of Pakistanis towards your work? How did you find that?
I mean, it's a great question. Before I say once the work was out, I would again want to reiterate when the work was being done, the response was like overwhelming. Right? Every person we've asked to actually help us has been there, and I don't want to repeat that. But then once the work was released, right, this across the world has had a significant impact in terms of creating a desire. And I'm coming to the Pakistani aspect. I want to start from somewhere else, which was our vision. In my books, I've spoken, when I did my 2 books, I've delivered over 170 odd seminars around the world in 3 years between 2015 and 2017. And what I feel good about is that what has succeeded in US and Canada and America and in UK and other places is the desire to visit Pakistan to see. Now, how's the response been within Pakistan? It's early days. Right now, the series is in English. So we understand the ability to reach out to the masses with an English narrative is going to be a bit challenged, right? So we are already raising the funding to take this series into Punjabi, Hindi, and Urdu. Now, once that happens by next year or by end of this year, Punjabi comes out, and then the other languages, more and more masses will get to know. But with the English series itself, our satisfaction factor is measured by the fact that, again, the Pakistan government has been so has embraced us so much that Pakistan media has given us full coverage, different television, newspapers, and as well as the Pakistan High Commission in Singapore hosted a release event of the series, though in the Corona time it was a bit limited in terms of participation, but we got an opportunity, and for that we thank the government for that, and I thank the Foreign Minister Makhdoom Qureshi Sahab for having written to us personally and to encourage us to say that you should look at making an Urdu and a Punjabi version, because Guru Nanak is from these lands. And we have already started work, and it's not again very easy. We're still raising fundings for it. But once that comes out, I think the embrace is going to be much more bigger, right? Thank you very much.
We wish you all the best for your remarkable project. Thank you, Amardeep ji. Thank you, Vininder ji, for taking out time and for enlightening us today. We are extremely grateful to you for joining us on our National Day celebration. Really appreciate that.
Thank you very much. And in leading, all I would say is the website is thegurunanak.com. There's no cost to it. We're making it freely available to the world. Go and experience the Pakistani community. I'll again say, start with episode 1. And if you don't want to see the other areas, go to episode 3. Just see 1 and 3, and you will get a feeling of what we're talking about. 3 is where the journey starts, going to various shrines, the multi-faith journey. And if it continues to interest you, continue across to 24 episodes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ऐसी ज़मीं और आसमां इनके सिवा जाना कहाँ, बढ़ती रहे ये रोशनी, चलता रहे ये कारवां, दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जा पाकिस्तान, दिल दिल पाकिस्तान जा Pakistan.
I am sure our audience here today would be familiar with the truck art of Pakistan. Cargo trucks painted in vibrant colors with extremely intricate details trailing across the length and breadth of Pakistan have become a cultural symbol for the country. The paintings of these trucks embody a wide range of themes, including landscapes, celebrities, religious imagery, national heroes, and often the identity and regional background of the truck owners and drivers. Truck art has inspired many contemporary motifs and patterns and can be seen in interior design, pottery, shoes, and apparels. Today, we are going to see how truck art is made. The painting activity is brought to you by Phoolpati, a social enterprise owned by Ali Salman Anchan, dedicated to promoting Pakistani truck art. Phoolpati is officially recognized by UNESCO. Let's sit back and enjoy the symphony of colors and shades.
फायदेमंद है और मैं फूलपति का डायरेक्टर हूँ। तो हमने बहुत से दुनिया में बहुत से एम्बेसी के साथ काम किया और पाकिस्तान हाई कमीशन सिंगापुर के साथ काम करके हमें बड़ा खुशी हुई।
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ali Salman Anchit, founder and creative director of Phoolpati Project, and we are promoting truck art around the world. And it's a privilege and honor to work with Pakistan High Commission Singapore. Hope you guys like our artwork.
जीवे पाकिस्तान 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 जीवे जीवे पाकिस्तान पाकिस्तान जीवे जीवे पाकिस्तान जी पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद।
With this, we come to the end of the event. We thank you all for taking out time and joining us today in celebrating National Day of Pakistan. We wish you all a very happy National Day.